Can a custom truck actually make you happy? Well, this question has a complicated answer, as many people will simply see a material object, while I see a masterpiece of engineering that could be a ticket into one of the tightest communities on Earth. The money can't buy happiness crowd usually can't visualize the thrill of the build and the bonds created along the way. So let's unravel all the layers of this highly debatable subject. Hello my friends, Kevin here, and I think if you are on the outside looking into the truck scene, you may not get it. Honestly, it's a bit interesting for us to take a perfectly normal truck and modify it for the sake of getting looks. I got interested in trucks in the early 90s as OBS Chevys were the hot ticket, and seeing lowered versions of them got me hooked. I did not get involved until a decade later, but I knew I wanted to drive something cool like what I had seen on the streets. I think once you get the custom truck bug, you will never find a cure. And honestly, this is the type of infection that I think can truly be good for your mind and soul. I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here and share some things many might not know. So when I was younger, I was shy and a bit of an outcast. I was raised with a different outlook on life than other kids had in school, and I didn't completely fit in. I was a photo nerd in school and quickly realized that I liked taking shots of vehicles. It was my way of making art without really having to interact with people, or so I thought. As I went further down the rabbit hole, I soon opened up more as I had to talk to people to connect with the amazing rides others had built. Soon enough, I wound up creating friendships, which some have gone on for about half my life at this point. Heck, one of my longtime truck friends, Roscoe, was even in my wedding party, and my other friend, Jeff, bought my Chevy S10 to help me purchase the TCI chassis for my 62 GMC. I think the underlying truth about these trucks is that they can truly help you build bonds with others who share a passion for these machines. Getting involved in the truck scene has definitely changed and elevated my life with numerous social interactions. If you come across me at shows, you may find I really do appreciate engaging with others. I think that's one thing we need more of in this day and age, and with that being said, I encourage others to extend themselves by getting involved in this wonderful world of custom trucks. At the same time, I understand it can also be intimidating to approach people at events. Many truck enthusiasts are a part of a club and hang out in groups, and if you are a lone ranger, so to say, that could be scary. On top of this, a lot of us wear dark clothing and some of us have tattoos, but that doesn't mean you should judge a book by its cover. If you're intimidated by truck enthusiasts, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Most of us like getting compliments on our rides, and that's definitely a good way to start a conversation with many of us, even if you are not knowledgeable on trucks or the modifications that make them so cool. I know that a lack of knowledge can be difficult as well because none of us want to look like an idiot. But this is the perfect time to state the obvious that you want to learn more about customizing. As they say, a rising tide lifts all boats, and that's basically what happens when we share our knowledge of customizing. Yes, there are some real innovators out there that are not scared of trying something new and the possibility of failing. But most truck fans get their knowledge from others, and asking questions about mods is just another icebreaker, as most customizers have pride in performing mods and are eager to tell people how they achieve success. With that being said, I think joining a truck or car club is definitely a good way to elevate your experience in the scene. Not only can you benefit from sharing info, but you can also make some good friends in doing so. Talking about a common thread is a great way to create strong bonds between others. It is also a good way to get a support system, as having friends usually means you have someone to call when you're in a tight spot. However, I will say that we are all human, and sometimes there's drama that can brew from mixing the pot of emotions. Someone might say something out of line or make a bad joke about someone, and then feelings get hurt. This can create a real commotion and make you rethink about your involvement in the sport. But my best advice would be for both parties to level with themselves and hug it out. I'm not about drama or negativity, as we don't need any of it. I think we can all benefit from coexisting at the very least. Speaking of words that raise emotions, let's talk about the phrase built not bought. This is something that I understand as a statement of pride, but also something I don't think should be used as a weapon. I socialize with many people that could be labeled check riders who shortcut their way into the scene with a finely finished ride that someone else built. I definitely don't hate on these people, as I think it's a sign that you've made it in life when you don't have to get your hands dirty to get the things you want. But either way you look at it, these folks are key figures that help keep cash flowing into our scene. So the lesson here is, don't hate. On the subject of negativity, there's always going to be someone that doesn't like your vehicle or talk smack about a certain mod you experimented with. I've definitely had my fair share of naysayers, but mostly they are outsiders that don't understand why you would drop a truck down to the pavement. There's also those that say trucks are useless because they believe lowered pickups can no longer haul loads. There have been many times I overheard people talking trash on my old S10, and I would simply jump scare them by lifting the air suspension by remote. That was my little way of schooling them. Those were fun times, but I think the bigger discussion here is about putting yourself out there with spicy mods that could be controversial. Everyone wants their custom truck to stand out from the rest, and the only way of truly accomplishing this is by trying your hand at a new mod that hasn't been done before. This is a really difficult task, as so many things have been done to trucks that it's really difficult to figure out a new mod that could take your truck to the next level. But let's say you do come up with a new mod. Not only do you need the confidence in adding it to your rig, you'll wrap your head around the possible fallout from others. But if people throw negativity your way, basically they are showing their true colors, and you should probably stay away from those types of folks anyways. But it has been pretty common these days for enthusiasts to say something like, "I appreciate the effort, but it's not for me." I admire those that can put things into perspective like this without being condescending. This reminds me of the time I wanted to add stamped lettering to the tailgate of my Chevy S10. At the time, I wanted to mimic tailgates of classic trucks on my later model truck. Looking for a solution to my idea, I ended up at a salvage yard and picked up a 60-66 C10 tailgate, and my gears were in motion. After taking a few measurements, I knew it was possible to blend it onto the back of my truck with some skilled work. My ambitions definitely exceeded my talents here, so I turned to Jose Rodriguez, who worked at Devious Customs at the time. Together we were able to split my stock tailgate and fuse the skins together while keeping it a working piece on the truck. This was a dramatic change on my truck, and when it was first done, I honestly had no idea if it would truly look cool when done. Well, luckily it was very well received and approved by the scene. And to make things better, a few people tried to copy it, and as they say, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. In the long run, if I liked it and nobody else did, well, that's cool with me. I'm a firm believer that you should always build a truck for yourself and not others. It's your time and money being poured into these trucks, and you are the only one that needs to give approval. It's your truck, and it should make you happy above what anyone else says. And if people like it, well, that's even better. So aside from all of this, there are other hardships that can make it really difficult to keep your spirits up. I mean, let's state the obvious. These trucks cost money to make them cool, and for most of us, that could be an issue. Oftentimes, family members don't understand why we choose to make sacrifices for the sake of building a sick truck, and this can cause heartache all around. But for those that can muscle through, I can tell you the results will be worth it. In addition to the funding issue, there's the subject matter of time. Modifications take time, and if you're working on your own hauler, you can expect your fair share of hours in the garage. This too can take a toll on the family, but it's all about finding the perfect balance of home life and your hobby. But here's another thing to consider. All these trucks will eventually have issues. Some smaller than others, and I'm a firm believer that nothing is forever, though you can certainly extend your time with a great truck if you don't cut corners on it. I say be in the moment and appreciate all the good moments and don't dwell on the downtimes. Take my 62 GMC for example. A number of years ago, I was able to make it a pretty sweet lowered truck that was a bit fast when I mashed the skinny pedal on the right. However, I did a burnout one time and blew up the transmission. Yes, this was a bummer, and I missed the times I got to drive this truck. But this was my opportunity to go even further with it. You see, I knew the truck could be better, and this situation allowed me the excuse for upgrades. I am still working on it, but I have comfort in knowing that good things happen to those who wait. Now, taking into account all of these things, the big question still remains. Will building and owning a custom truck make you happy? Well, I think they definitely can be a positive aspect in your life if you play your cards right by navigating through all the nuances that can hinder your experience. So yeah, I think they can make you a bit happier at the very least. There have been several times when I became mesmerized by simply looking at a truck I own. There have been multiple times that I have finished a portion of a truck and it seriously left me speechless. Seeing a slick truck sitting in your driveway or garage can truly make you forget about all the setbacks or issues you may have had along the way. Customizing a truck is all about expressing your sense of style, and seeing one come to life after forming a master plan can make it all worthwhile. For most, just going out for a simple cruise in your ride can clear your mind from all the hard realities in life. I think that if you can jump in your truck and blast down the highway, you are doing something right. To me, this is one of the greatest joys, and these haulers can instantly put a smile on your face. In the end, that's all that truly matters. Well, that just about does it for this video, and we thank you for watching it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a future video, and we will catch you next time. This is how we dance when you are a cowboy. It kinda reminds us when we're on a saddle. Yo!